Hey guys, what's up? Lewin here at Garageband and Beyond. Welcome back. The thing I want to talk about today is the newest thing in my collection, which is this guy right here. This is a 1959 Hammond M3 organ. Now, for those of you who don't know, the M3 is basically the little brother of the B3. The Hammond B3 is, the classic rock and roll organ that you've heard on all recordings. That's what Billy Preston played on a lot of the Beatles records. It's what Greg Allman still plays in the Allman Brothers. You've heard the organ sound all over the place. Now, like I was saying, this is the little brother of the B3, so it has less keys. It doesn't have the preset sounds and stuff like that. However, the tone generator inside of it is exactly the same. So if you're like me, I have limited amount of space. I have a limited amount of friends for lifting a Hammond keyboard. This is really ideally, this is, in my opinion, this is the best home studio Hammond organ that money can buy. I found this on Craigslist for $350. I couldn't, I couldn't be happier with it. It's really in beautiful condition. I think the original owner had it from 1959 until 2010, January of 2010. Sold it to one other guy who had bought it to chop it up to make it more portable, but then realized it was too much work for him and sold it to me. So anyway, yeah, so this is a great little thing, and they do exist. You can find them on Craigslist and eBay. I actually saw a bunch of them, and they do go around that price, around $350, $400, give or take a few dollars. But yeah, if you want that Hammond sound, this is really one of the only things that'll do it accurately, because it really is a Hammond. I have it hooked up to my Motion Sound Pro 3. If you don't know what this is a real spinning horn. You probably see it right there. It's going around in slow mode. I can speed it up and you might be able to see a little better. So I have it going through a spinning horn, and I have the output, low-end output going to my DeVille 410, which is just a guitar amp, but it works for my purpose. So anyway, really quickly, I'll just give you a little sample. I'm not the best organ player, so don't, feel free, or don't feel like you have to write comments about my awful keyboard playing, but... Right? It's that... Such a great sound. I really love this thing. So I'm going to switch into handheld mode with my camcorder here, just to give you a close-up look at it, and I'll describe a little bit how it works, and let's get to that shot now. Alright, so here I'm just showing you the section on the left-hand side of the keyboard here. So these guys right here, these are the drawbars. So basically what these do are, if I shove them all the way in, it won't make any sounds actually, because they control the tones that's coming out of it. So here, this is for the lower rank. There's the Leslie. Right? So I got the Leslie spinning around. And as you pull these out, actually let me try to, can't really do this with both hands, but as I pull them out, you get different sounds. So you can get more highs, right? And then the same thing goes for the second rank, the upper rank. There's more drawbars, and as you can see, they have numbers on them to give you the value. And like I said before, these are the harmonics of the notes. So these bring, if I do this, you can see right? So you can probably hear how that was bringing in different elements of that note. Now there's a couple of other switches here. This is, for the volume pedal and the pedal attack and pedal decay. The vibrato and stuff, this is, I don't really use it all that much. It's not that bad, but I don't use it. Now down here, this is like one of the classic Hammond things that, like no synthesizer can really, if you ask me, doesn't really accurately simulate this, the percussion effect. Now if I turn this off, and if I play up here, right, sounds like that. But if I turn it on, can you hear? I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a much higher thing that's coming in and out. Here's it off. Here's it on. Right? So that just sort of gives it a little bit more of an attack, and it's only at the front end of the sound. Now I can actually change it. You can see Percussion Harmonic Selector, so I can either do the third. This is major thirds or major seconds. That's major second. This is major third. Right? And you can, more selections here. Percussion decay, percussion volume, and percussion on and off. Now I think I'm going to switch back to the other camera because I think this view sort of stinks. But so there's the motion sound again. Pro 3. Gotta get one of these things if you have any sort of organ running. You gotta have a real spinning speaker. You will love it, and they're cheap. All right, let's go back to the other camera. All right, so I'm going to tell you really quickly, one of the coolest things about this keyboard, actually, when you turn it on, there's this whole process. You got to flip one switch, and you can hear the tone generator. There's a motor to start it, and it goes, and then it gets up to speed. And then you flip another switch, and it turns on the power amplifier, all that kind of stuff, and then keeps the motor continuously running. So that's, for me, like I'm a mechanic, and I love mechanical things. That's one of the coolest things about this keyboard to me, sort of the mechanical side. There's actual moving parts inside of this. Now, if you don't know, the way Hammond creates its tones it has a series of, and they kind of look like small gears. And depending on how many teeth the gear has, as it's spinning, it passes, something kind of like a guitar pickup. And depending on how many teeth it has, it's the different notes, right? So, for example, like a C might be 10 teeth, whereas like a F is something like 15. I'm pulling those numbers out of the air. If you're a Hammond person and you know the reality of it, don't write to me. I don't really know. I just know that that's how it works. That there are physically, some spinning gears inside of this thing that create the tones, and it's one of the most interesting things about this keyboard. Besides a player piano, I don't really know of any other keyboards that have moving parts. Oh no, that's not true. The Mutron has a bunch of them. And yeah, I think there might be some other keyboards. But anyway, this is the one that I have, and I really like it. One other thing I will say, if you are thinking about buying this keyboard, it only, the M3 only comes with an internal speaker. It has no line outputs, and you can find online, there's a lot of plans, you can find a lot of schematics for outputs for this thing, but I actually had to design my own because one of the most important things is, a lot of people say you can just cut it and then, add a 1/4-inch jack and then plug it into your amplifier. Yes, that will work, but not only will you be sending your amplifier like a really, really hot amplified signal, you run the risk of blowing out the output transformer on the Hammond. So what I designed was a little box. It's in the back here. I have a switch, so I can switch between the internal speaker or going out to my output to my Leslie here, and I have a little volume knob on it. And I also put an 8-ohm resistor and then two resistors and one capacitor in it. Basically, I'm creating a dummy load for the output transformer on the Hammond, because if it's running with no load, it has a tendency, it'll overheat, it'll be looking for a load, but there won't be one. So it's really important, and if you're curious about how I built my box, feel free to email me, and I can, I'm going to draw up some schematics for somebody who wants it, and I'll try to put them online somehow. But if you are curious about how I did that, email me and I'll let you know. But that's it. So this is my Hammond M3. If you're looking for a really great Hammond sound, a real Hammond sound in your home studio, find an M3, buy it, and try to get a spinning speaker of some sort. I personally love the motion sound stuff. I think it's cheap, it's lightweight, they work forever. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed my little bragging video. I have a Hammond. All right, have a good day, guys. I'll see you soon.